Tonight, we are joined by Congressman Reynaldo Umali, Chairman of the House Committee on Energy, to give us an update on the series of hearings conducted recently to grant the President the authority to address the looming power shortage in Luzon for the summer months of 2015. Good evening, sir, and welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening, Robert, and good evening to our televiewers.
Now, sir, what is the real score? Now, how true are the reports that the Department of Energy cannot reconcile its numbers with the numbers that the House Committee on Energy has come up with?
Yeah. Well, basically, the difference lies in what DOE counts as under the interruptible load program. Because as per our count, based on commitments made in all of the hearings that we have conducted, we have reached a level of 1,100 megawatts already of ILP. While DOE is just probably counting about 101 megawatts of all of these 1,100. So in that sense, then the additional committed capacities are will be understated. But then Secretary Petilla also mentions that there are some problems and difficulties and probably even constraints in implementing ILP, and for which reason he doesn't really want to count that much on the ILP as a program.
What are the concerns for the ILP?
Well, basically, the derated capacity. There are we were measuring derated capacity at about 70%. So that if we have 1,100, this should count at about 770. The other thing is that, well, in some instances, Secretary Petilla says that it should only be 50%. And of course, there are other constraints like how to manage small capacities or small gensets into the grid and or into what will be consumed by the consumers. So these are things that hopefully can be addressed in a protocol that Meralco, RESA, and other concerned agencies, including ERC, can thresh out.
Now, you've had quite heated debates regarding this issue. Now, what does the Department of Energy want, and what does the House Committee on Energy want in terms of your committee wants to do the interruptible load program? Now, what does the Department of Energy want to do?
Well, DOE probably would like a full assurance that there will be no brownouts. And it finds it difficult to appreciate that ILP alone, plus some of the plans for interconnection and for immediate rehabilitation, can suffice to cover the supposed shortage. On the other hand, in our case, we need to define clearly and transparently the terms and conditions of the requested authority to contract additional capacities, simply because this is what the law provides. This is what the law requires from Congress under Section 71 of EPIRA. And therefore, we cannot do without these details. And this is the thing that keeps us from trying to get all of these terms and conditions to be clearly spelled out in the joint resolution that we will present. Of course, the other thing is I need all of this data so that I can aptly defend on the floor in plenary all of the things that we would want to pursue through the joint resolution.
How much load do we actually need to be able to assure the public that there will be no brownouts during the summer months? How much electricity is needed? The
numbers change, but in the last hearing that we had, I mean the other hearing, DOE is computing it at 700 megawatts, and actually, to be precise, it's 678. But now we raised it to about 700, and of course, these numbers can change depending on the performance of the different plants, considering that some of it are too old to be able to be relied upon.
Now, with the ILP, sir, how much commitment do we have as of today, and what is your deadline for the rest of the commitments to ensure that we have enough capacity?
As of today, it's 1,183 to the best of my recollection. We're looking at even a higher figure because the total registered self-generating facilities run to about 3,100 megawatts. So if we will be able to get half of it, or 1,500 or 1,600 of it, I think then we will be on a safer plane.
Now, how much is it going to cost the government to do this if we go through, let's say, the ILP program?
Per the estimate, depending on the number of rotating brownouts and the number of days that we will need this power from the ILP. But previously, it was estimated that if we will have a rotating brownout of between 3 to 5 hours, 5 days in a week, Meralco computed it at about 200 million per month for 300 megawatts. Now, in a previous hearing that we conducted, there was another figure, but this is just a 1 hour of rotating brownout for 1 day in a week, and it should be less than 80 million. So depending on the extent to which we will have shortage, and depending on the number of hours of rotating brownouts, then those numbers will be somewhere anywhere in between 80 million to about 200 million per month for 300 megawatts.
How many months do we need?
As per the last declaration of DOE, it's about 5 months. This is starting March and will end July.
Now, if hypothetically, if we go with what the Department of Energy wants to propose, how much is that going to cost the government?
Well, if we're looking at leasing the facility, leasing the plant of about 300 megawatts, the minimum is about 6 billion. And this excludes cost of fuel. So if we run it, then we will get more expenses that will aggravate the situation further.
Now, how will we know which one are we going to use? We are pushing for the emergency powers of. Well, we're pushing for. You're pushing for the emergency powers for the president, or.
Yes,
yes,
that's correct. What we are now pushing for is basically 4 options. The ILP or interruptible load program as our first priority. And then there are plans for interconnection of about, I think, per hour counts about 160 megawatts. And then there are plans for immediate rehabilitation, and we're counting about 300 megawatts of this. And then, of course, as a final fallback is the energy efficiency and conservation measures, which we're still running the numbers now. Hopefully, we can get firm numbers out of this that we can incorporate in the joint resolution.
So when are we going to have a final decision on which to use, so that we have actually enough time by summer to actually implement whatever it is?
In fact, the option to lease is no longer available, and I think, and in a previous hearing, DOE had already withdrawn that option because we have no time to implement it. So now it's just really the 4 options that that I mentioned earlier, and we're giving the ILP participants to voluntarily participate by December 31. The joint resolution, we hope to get it approved before or within November, so that we will have time for DOE to really issue the implementing rules and regulations that will clarify all of the issues confronting this joint resolution.
And sir, finally, how can we assure the public then when this time happens that electricity prices won't actually shoot up?
Yes, that is what we're working on. In fact, we're not looking at passing this on to the consumers because the direction is really for government to assume the cost, so that there will be no burden on the consumers.
Okay. On that note, thank you very much for joining us here tonight at NewsLife. That was Congressman Reynaldo Umali, Chairman of the House Energy Committee. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.